And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go, come on.
And now a carry here for Orleans Darkwa. And he powers his way up past the 30. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
58!
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches.
319!
Here's Darkwa, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jake Ryan. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Derek Barnett in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And Walker with it over the middle. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
That's a lot of beef thundering downfield off of the toss play, and it takes me back to when I was a kid and watching USC play. Remember the old toss that they ran? They used to call it student body right or student body left because everyone was out in front of the ball carrier. In fact, one of their favorite plays, it was called rose stem right or rose stem left, depending on the formation, 28 toss. And 28 toss was their bread and butter.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes it play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers that can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. This is caught inside the 15. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. It's a big play there for the Eagles. And even 50 yards after the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Now they'll run it on the taunts. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
58!
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
They'll run with Darkwa. And some room to maneuver. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
319!
On the run, Darkwa. Stopped short of the 25, but that second effort got him a couple extra.
Let's go, come on.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's the first catch of the game for Kupp, and he's got a first down.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today. I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Orleans Darkwa, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right? If
they're smart, they do.
This will be fielded at the 6. Good footwork on the spin. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business. And
the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Nick Perry in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
He's going to air one out. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Wentz. They'll roll him out right. It's caught. Nelson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. The tackle will be credited to Jake Ryan.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Wentz to throw on second down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Now they'll run it on the toss. Room here to run. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. With his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he locates Walker, complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Rodgers now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
319.
Rodgers now going to throw again. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Now a play fake. Rodgers. He's going to float, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he'll take this back all the way up past.
Boy, Brandon, that's what I'd call an ill-advised pass right there on third down. I mean, you just need a yard or two to keep the drive going. Instead, he's trying to hit a home run. You've got to really like your chances if you're going to take a shot like that.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And some space here. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, this from 46. And that is no good. So due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. So the Eagles get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Now they'll run it on the toss. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They run again with Logan. He finds some open field here. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. To throw is Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll run it here with Logan, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Go!
On play action, Wentz rolling to his right. And this will be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. They fake the give. Now Wentz. He'll buy some time right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Clay Matthews. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
That would be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the 3rd quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back from the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. On second down, here's Rodgers. And he'll hit his tight end, Walker. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And his throw is incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And Walker has it. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now Rodgers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He is hoping to find the end zone for a third time, and we sit now in the third quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And it'll be second and 11.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
On play action, it's Wentz. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Eagles on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, throw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Around the NFL, they've gone to the 3rd in Cleveland. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers.
Back now at Lambeau. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Jordan Hicks coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
But they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
Unable to corral him, he fights through. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Derek Barnett, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cool.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Chris Long in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. It's Pumphrey on the toss. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a second down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Again, it's Pumphrey. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
The Eagles on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now a toss play. This is Pumphrey. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Let's go. Great.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And the penetration too strong. He won't make it back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
I get the thought process. 3rd and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way. But that means you're counting on your offensive line to win the line of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, and there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime. They've just likely won this thing in regulation.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture. That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the 4th, but they got to feel good now. Elliott good with a PAT, and it would appear, barring some late heroics, they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it, and they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over.